It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We know you have a lot of choices you can do every single morning, but you choose to be with us, and we appreciate you. And my promise to you is that this will be a good use of your time, the CEO Sales Huddle, a time for you to slow down and focus on your sales department that allows you to, generate revenue, which means you now can purchase the resources that you need to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And my promise to you is that not only will this be a good use of time, but you'll get the sales strategy, the sales structure, and the sales systems that you need to really elevate and build an 8 to 9 figure powerhouse sales team for your sales department. And every morning we start off and we love to share the same thing, and that is success leaves clues. It's not a new idea, but we do believe that success leaves clues. And as you think about that right now, the way we focus on that is we look at a case study. And this morning we're going to look at a case study that's going to be near and dear. And then we look at what's worked for them. That's a success. What didn't work for them, and how can we use it in our sales department. So let's get started. So in the heart of the Great Depression, entrepreneurs in North Carolina were struggling with economic challenges. Among them was a guy by the name of Vernon Rudolph, who saw an opportunity amidst hardship. He purchased a secret donut recipe from a French chef in New Orleans and started a small shop in Potter, Kentucky. However, the real challenge was yet to come as he moved his business to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The problem was simple: how to stand out and grow a business during such difficult times. Rudolph faced the enormous challenge. It was a struggle that many businesses face, and that was consistency and customer attraction. And here's the interesting fact, is that sweet donut, that little taste it had for his donuts, was enough to draw in some customers, but they weren't consistent. And the donut quality across the stores really posed a real challenge. Each location made donuts from scratch, and this led to variations that really kind of bothered Rudolph. This inconsistency was a barrier to really scaling and building and growing his business in a profitable, successful way. So Rudolph's situation was to standardize the process, a strategy that parallels the importance of a solid sales system, which is needed in business. He opened a mix plant to deliver a consistent dough mix to all the stores, ensuring every donut met the same high standards. Moreover, he innovated by creating machinery that automated, listen to this, production, much like, tune in, a sales system that streamlines processes for consistency and efficiency. This approach not only improved product quality, but it also boosts production efficiency, allowing Krispy Kreme to expand its reach. Now, I'm not talking about if it's good for you or not, but I'm saying Krispy Kreme really started expanding and doing and becoming the juggernaut that we know it is as of today. What's the key lesson from Krispy Kreme donut journey? And here it is. It's the importance of having a sales system and a sales strategy. Just like Rudolph standardized his donut making process, businesses, especially CEOs, must develop systems, sales systems to be clear, that ensures consistency and quality. This is critical for scaling operations, growing revenue, and making a positive impact. You see, a well-defined sales strategy can transform a small business into a global brand, much like Krispy Kreme, from a single shop to an international sensation. And what's the big difference between them and another donut shop that's still there with coffee? A sales system. So with that being said, welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. It is an honor and a privilege to serve you. My name is Shay Brown. I'll be your host. And every morning we like to start off with our mantra. And the reason we start with the mantra is because we have a belief here. And the belief is success leaves clues, but also every CEO should have a mantra that they have for their sales department. And the mantra is focus on sales. The mantra is focus on sales. In fact, I want you to repeat those 3 words after me right now. Go ahead and repeat that. Focus on sales. Focus on sales, focus on sales, focus on sales. You see, our belief is if you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Why? Because sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. And without sales, there's always more money going out than there is coming in. Shay, what are you trying to say? I'm trying to say at the end of the day, and I want you to hear me with all your heart, is that selling is very, very serious business, because sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. Write that down in your notes right now. Sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. And without sales, there's always more money pouring out than there is coming in. Well, at the end of the day, we've got to focus as CEOs on the one area that we know, and that is sales, by the way. And as a CEO, we also have a mantra every morning. And our mantra every single day from a CEO perspective is learn, earn, and return. In fact, I want you to repeat those words after me. Learn, earn, and return. So every day I want you to tell yourself, and this is so important, tell yourself that I have to learn something new in order to earn new revenue from existing clients, in order to have old and new clients to return. So I must learn, I must earn, and I must return. But we don't stop there. We move on and say, what are our objectives? And we have 3 objectives every single morning. This is why we get together. This is why it works. This is what makes sense. Our number 1 objective is to take a look at our sales and say, hey, what's working? What's not working? And then go over and say, what are some of the challenges we had? We talked about a case study like that this morning. And then we come back and say, wait a minute, let's understand the 5 sales pillars that every CEO must know and understand. Pillar number 1, you must have a one-page CEO sales plan. Pillar number 2, listen up very closely. You must understand the sales cycle. Pillar number 3 is what's the sales message the CEO is taking out to the market. And number 4, we must follow our numbers. And we do that with the CEO dashboard. And then number 5 is we must build a 7-figure sales team. When you don't have a 7-figure sales team, you worry about you making all the sales. You worry about how you're going to make the calls. You worry about how folks are going to find you. And we want to solve that problem for you. Now, if you're out there tuning in that we do every single morning, do me a favor. Look right below the video and put hashtag I'm here. Hashtag I'm here is the bat signal that you're in this conversation. You're tuned in. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for being here, by the way. And for those folks that are watching the replay, put hashtag replay. And if you're watching online, you're like, hey, Shay, I just want to connect with you online. Go over to @IamCheBrown. @IamCheBrown is the bat signal that you are in this conversation right now. And I love to connect with every single one of you that's out there right now. And let's go ahead and connect. Let's do that now. The question I get asked often is, what's the purpose of the CEO Sales Huddle? And the CEO Sales Huddle is a place where CEOs gather to understand how to sell more faster. Now, this is important because the one thing I do believe is that the CEO Sales Huddle was established to help CEOs really experience sales growth a lot faster than they were. Also to be a place where they could check in and they could hold themselves accountable. And we know about the power of consistency. So this is a place that consistency every single morning you can show up and you only have to give 15 minutes of your time. Now you think about it, there are 1,440 minutes in every single day. So we're asking you to share 15 minutes of your day. That's 1% of your day. And the whole purpose of sharing that 1% of your day, just 1% of your day, is to get to our number 1 outcome. And our number 1 outcome of you sharing that 15 minutes a day is to do one thing. And that's to generate $100,000 a month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue. Now, for some of you, this sounds very doable. For others, you're like, shit, I got to start. I got to get to my first 25,000. So whether it's your first sale, your second sale, or you're trying to get consistent sales, we want it to be predictable, reliable revenue that's coming in that you can count on every single month because of your sales system, your sales strategy, and your sales structure that's all in place and working in unison. So how do we do that? That was a challenge. How do we really get there? How do we get that first sale, that second sale, and how do we be consistent? Well, one of the things we came up with was something very important, which is the CEO Sales Dashboard. And the CEO Sales Dashboard was created so that you could track and you can measure. Now, here's what we believe. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. But we say, hey, here's the cool part. You only got to look at 5 categories. Now, we're going to send this to you because this is the missing link. We've created a whole CEO Secret Society. We're going to give you access to that. I'm going to tell you what to do in a minute to get that. But let me tell you what it is, because there's only 5 components. And it's an Excel sheet. Now, you can download this, the Excel sheet. Inside the Excel sheet, There are 5 categories. Now, you can have your team do this. Maybe you can do this. Here's the point. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. So we go across the top. There's the date. You can customize this and put your top 1 or 2 products. And let's just check in for a moment. How many leads came in for your number 1 product yesterday? Go ahead and put that down. How many appointments were set for the number 1 product yesterday? Now, there's offers, there's deals, there's repeat business, but I want to tune in on just one area in the time we have right now. I want you to slow down for a moment. And you, as the CEO, you're in with your sales department. I'm the chief sales officer. Maybe we're sitting in the sales department together right now. And you look over at me and say, Shay, I'm meeting with the board today, and I want to share with them how many appointments were set for our number 1 product. And you open up the CEO dashboard. Maybe it didn't exist. We created it because our private clients needed it, and we opened up to the public for the very first time. This is game changer. And you say, well, how many appointments were set yesterday by our sales department for this product? How many appointments were set the day before? How many appointments were run? There's a difference between appointment setting and appointment running. There's appointment setting and there's appointment running. 2 entirely different skill sets. There's one-to-one appointments. There's one-to-many appointments. There's different type of appointments you could be looking at. And now we're tracking and we're measuring it. You probably agree with me. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. This is a very serious conversation. Now, we don't just stop there and say, okay, are you doing your numbers? Are you hitting your numbers? But I don't know of a CEO yet, the GM for the CEO for GM, the CEO for Toyota, the CEO from any major corporation. They can probably tell you exactly down to how many widgets have been sold over the last 30 days. Allows you to put the resources in the right place. Now, we don't stop there, because one of the things I like to do is I like to acknowledge the wins. You work hard, your team works hard, you're putting in the hard work. I know it. And you're helping folks. And we want to acknowledge this. We have something here called Celebrate Wins. Celebrate Wins is we believe that powerful people as powerful. Why? Because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get exactly what you focus on. So now we're going to focus on the one area by asking ourselves 3 questions. Number 1, what are you most proud of? Number 2, what was your biggest accomplishment yesterday in the sales department? And number 3, what do you want to brag about? You can't wait to brag. You just want to talk about the wins that you had, the successes you had that all took place in the sales department. Powerful people ask powerful questions. Questions steer focus. And in this life, you get what you focus on. Now we're going to go to the other side and ask ourselves 3 questions. What was your biggest roadblock yesterday in the sales department? What's preventing you today from moving forward in the sales department? And what's the one thing you can do that if you did it, it would move your life and or business forward in the sales department? Powerful people ask powerful questions because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get exactly what you focus on. My message of today is focus on sales. My message of the day is focus on sales. Slow down, focus on the one area that is really the heartbeat of the business. It's really what breathes the air into the business, and that is you focusing on generating revenue that makes a difference for the people you were called to serve. You focus on your sales strategy, got it, Shay. Maybe that's already in place. Then let's go over and focus on the sales structure. That's the structure you're building around the sales strategy. Maybe that's in place. Then if not, let's go look at the system and how can we do it faster, quicker, easier so we can get to $100,000 or more a month. Or maybe for you, it's your first sale. Maybe for you, it's the second or third sale. Some of you, it's just about having consistent sales coming in. We're here to serve you. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown, host of the CEO Sales Huddle. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless and keep doing God's work. Peace.